Hey, welcome to Stringing Pearls vlog. This is my very first vlog and I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous. First of all, my name's Holly. I am a simple girl from Oklahoma. I'm married. I have 3 kiddos. I homeschool them. That's kind of how my day is usually filled, but why I decided to do this to vlog, no real huge reason. I just really I love the Lord and I love people and I love telling stories about him, how he speaks to me in the everyday. Usually that's through my circumstance and through kind of what's going on and through people in my life, and so I just kind of wanted to share that. The aim of the vlog is not to produce something that's very professional looking, because I don't know anything about that. And this is being filmed in my closet because it's quiet and I won't get distracted. So it's not going to be professional looking. It's not going to be greatly edited. It's really just to make much of him and hopefully be maybe a place of encouragement for women. I love moms and wives and daughters and sisters and friends, and I love how the Lord uses us as individuals and together, and I like to tell stories about that. So that's pretty much it. I want to be kind of quick because I don't want it to be super long. So I want to tell you my first story today. Why did I name the blog Stringing Pearls? What's that about? So let me tell you the story. It was about 9 years ago. I was a new believer. I had just finished reading a book called Crazy Love by Francis Chan. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. Go read it. And I was just really getting to know the Lord. I was just getting to know him, kind of like you do with a new friend, and finding out things about him. And every day I was learning something new, and it was a really exciting season in that. And I was just finding out more about missions and sharing the gospel and trying to live intentionally, just these new things that were kind of in my consciousness that hadn't really been there before, and trying to figure out how that kind of like reconciled with my life, which at the time I had like a 2-month-old, 3-month-old, and a maybe a little older baby than that, a young baby, and like a 2-year-old, and then like a 5-year-old. So little babies. So shout out to all you moms out there with little ones. You're doing an important work, and I know what it's like to be covered in Cheeto and slobber and have yoga pants as your official uniform every day. I'm completely familiar with that. You're doing good. Keep going. My season of life's a little different now, but that's kind of where we find the story starting. And like I said, I was just kind of trying to reconcile, how do you live on mission? How do you live intentionally? How do you go out there in a world and share the light of Jesus, you know? And it was really focused like outside my home, and how do I do this? And then reconciling that with my everyday, which was very much like, who sees this? Who sees the, the hot dogs and the grapes I'm cutting up for your lunch? And who sees the 50th diaper that I've changed, or the 7th load of laundry, or the 2 a.m. feeding? Like, what is this even about? How do I do this intentionally? And these are the things I was thinking. Maybe just like, what does it matter? I don't know if you can relate to that. Like, just thinking, Lord, is this life that you have me? Is it just small? Like, what are you using it for, God? And what does it matter? And so it's kind of where I was. And now granted, I was sleep deprived, and you guys know. And so one afternoon in the spring, I'd put the 2 older ones in front of a movie, and the baby was taking a nap, and I thought, I'm just going to go in my closet. I'm just going to pray. It wasn't this closet, it was a different one, but so I did that. And as I was praying, I glanced up, and my necklaces were hanging above me, and the light was off, and there was just enough light coming up underneath the door that it was kind of just glimmering against this one pearl on this beautiful strand of pearls that was given to me by my mother-in-law. And I had seen this necklace. I knew it was beautiful. But in the dark there, you couldn't see its full beauty. You could just see one little pearl. And I thought, of course, I'm getting distracted. Shocking. And I said, oh man, the light just does not do that necklace in here. It doesn't do it any justice, because it's way more beautiful than that one pearl is showing it to be. And right as the words left my mouth, it was like the Lord just kind of stopped time. Does he ever do that for you? Just sort of stop time for a second, and where you go, oh, you kind of wake up to this reality of what you just said. And I realized right then, that's what you're doing. It's like God was like, that's what you're doing, Holly. You're stringing that one pearl. And then the next day, you're stringing that other pearl. That's what you're doing. And maybe by themselves, they don't look amazing or big or huge or fantastic. But when it gets to the end, Holly, I'm going to make something beautiful. I'm going to do that for you. If you'll keep faithfully stringing these pearls, keep faithfully doing those jobs where you think no one is watching, no one sees. I see, and I'm making something beautiful out of it. And that's what I felt like he was telling me in that moment. And at the end, I've worn that necklace. I thought I've worn it. It's adorned me. I've heard the compliments. I've heard oh, that's beautiful. And I thought, man, maybe at the end of this thing, ladies, right? Maybe at the end, we've treasured up every single one of those pearls. Maybe our babies will, we'll have this beautiful life, this beautiful legacy. Maybe they will say, my mama, man, she wasn't perfect. Maybe our neighbor might say, she wasn't perfect, but you know what? She did love God, and she did love people, and she was faithful. And ladies, I don't know about you, but if I can get to the end of this thing and I can have somebody say that about me, it's going to be amazing. More importantly, if I can have the Lord say that about me, that's pretty fantastic. In that moment, I realized that's what I'm doing here. That is my purpose, is to string these pearls, these moments that might be mundane and they might be ordinary, but that he can take and he can make into this beautiful life. So that's why I named the blog Stringing Pearls. That's my first story. So I guess the encouragement there would just be, you're not unseen. That pearl that you're stringing matters. You need it on that strand. Somebody else needs to see it on that strand. Keep stringing them. Keep being faithful. Keep plugging away. You are seen, and you're doing an important work. Anyway, all right, that's the first one. Hope you guys come back. Share it if you feel so led. Bye.